Oh God. Nope. 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 Okay. 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 We'll slide down. Actually, I don't. Oh crap. Yep. That's it. That's it. Okay. All right. This isn't too bad, actually. Hello guys, welcome back to Gemini Gamers, and especially welcome back to our Galileo Career Conquest series. So last episode we had a very successful mission to Tilomo, and we did a lot of science, and we got to saw the beautiful scenery of that planet. So we're definitely going back there at some point soon. I'm going to need to do a lot of research on plane parts because I'm going to need a plane to get down, to get some Kerbals down there, and to be able to get them out. If there is oxygen, if not, then we're going to use a rocket. So we're going to have to do that at some point here. But for now, we need to do some more grinding because we're a bit low on funds. We didn't get as many rewards as I thought we would have gotten from that mission. So we have to do a little bit of grinding. So the only reason I started off here is because I'm going to show you some things that I'm going to unlock here. So I'm going to need some solid rocket boosters because they're cheap to use. So that's first right here. I'm gonna unlock that, and we're also gonna unlock the should I unlock that? I don't think I'm going to unlock that at this point. I don't think I need that one. I need just a couple solid rocket boosters so we can use them to push our Kerbals up there, up into space easier without wasting so much money right now, because when you're grinding you want to use cheaper ships so you can go into space with a cheaper amount of money, allowing you to gain more from your contracts, you know, which would eventually allow you to push deeper into space once you have more money. And so that's what I'm going to do at this point. And I would love to unlock this bigger capsule. However, the only problem with that is I haven't been able to unlock any of the bigger tanks, of the in-between tanks from the 2.5 meters and 1.25 meters. So I need to unlock these in order to be able to use this other thing, which is kind of lame if you ask me. You know, this isn't very well balanced in this tree, and I don't want to update it because it's probably going to break something if I do, so I don't want to do that at this point. So here's another thing I'm going to research is probably going to be some more electricity just to expand the amount of probes that we can build at this point, I think. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And maybe the electric propeller to fly a plane on Yuvin at some point, I think. That will probably be a very good mission to do. I don't think we're going to need a lot of power up there. That's especially since it's such a small planet. So definitely some solar panels. I think that's the thing that we're going to research. I'm going to buy pieces as we go. I'm not going to buy everything right now. I still have enough to buy this, but I don't think we need any of this at this point. Well, that's a fission engine. Wow. Okay. So what does it do? It's a nuclear reactor, basically. It enriches uranium. Okay, cool. So I guess it's a reactor. It's a basic reactor, right? That's what that is. So I think I'm going to research the electric propeller at this point, which will allow me to research something else if I need it. What else should I research here? Landing legs would be useful. Thermodynamics would also be useful. That's actually more useful than that electric propeller. But I do want to do this. Well, we have no choice at this point. We need better heat shields. That large heat shield, it's too big, and I need it for a small ship at this point because we're going to do a lot of re-entries. So, with the Kerbal, so that we're going to need a heat shield. So I'm definitely going to research this. And and it gives me radiator panels in order to handle our heat situation. And that leaves me with 3 science. So for now, that's what I'm going to unlock. I'm going to grind a little bit, meaning I'm going to do a couple contracts. We may end up with a tiny bit more science. I'm not going to try to do the science missions without you guys here. I might do a mission or two to one of the moons with a Kerbal. But I will definitely record if something interesting happens. So if any of that happens, you'll see it in the next part of the video. And if not, I'll see you when I'm planning the main mission for this episode. All right. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, so we're back here, and after a bit of grinding, about an hour of grinding, we managed to get a lot of more funding and a lot more signs. So, a couple things changed. I upgraded the mission control to unlock more contracts. So, in order I could do more contracts in one mission. So, the missions that I did was a rendezvous around Seti. So, yeah, I think you probably saw the contract for that in one of the past episodes, so no big thing about that. And I landed on Seti and Iota and planted a flag and got some science out of that. That's how I got a bit of science. Didn't get much. I got it around 80 points, but I used that to unlock the launch clamps because my rockets were bouncing when they spawned, so they went boop, and then, that was a little dangerous, a little bit hectic. So I also upgraded the mission control, which now lets me to do maneuver nodes, which I found out. So very good, very good. And yeah, so for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to design a lander on Niven. So we're going to have a manned mission to Niven this episode. I don't know if we're going to land on it this episode, but we'll see, depending on how long things get. But for now, things are doing pretty well. So let's go ahead and get this thing designed and made so we can go ahead and get a mission going. Alright, so I'll see you once I'm done building it. Alright guys, so I finished designing the rocket, but now what I'm going to do is upgrade the Research and Development Center because we will be able to collect surface samples. Alright, so I am going to do... I'm not too sure if non-scientist Kerbals can actually even collect samples, but because the reason I mentioned that is because we're going to be sending up an engineer that can redeploy the parachutes once we land on Niven. So I was able to design a lander that may or may not be able to accomplish this mission. So I'm going to upgrade it. So there we go. There goes most of our funding. But we're now able to basically unlock parts at over 100 science at this point. So yeah. But under 500, I will believe. Yeah, I think under 500, but over 100. So we can unlock that at some point in the near future. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and load up the ship that we're going to launch with the right Kerbal in it. And we will be going to Niven with an actual Kerbal this time. Alright, so I'll see you at the launch pad. Alright guys, so here we are now. So let's go over a couple things that I included in this lander, right? So so let's go with the basics. So 6 cores at the bottom and 1 main core, everything similar, very, very simple rocket to build. A lot of tanks though, which is causing a little bit of lag, but I won't mind. Tiny hopeful landing legs that most likely will break when we land. So let's retract those to start off with. Ladder. So our Kerbal can go down and walk. And a small capsule. I normally don't put Kerbals in small capsules for such a long trip, but right now we have no choice, so we have to do that. 4 engine cores to get us to where we need to go, right? So I don't expect this rocket to get us even out of the Kerbin system. I expect this system up here to do all the heavy lifting at the end. So the transfer probably most likely, maybe a bit will be handled by this part of the rocket, the second stage. But most of the other stuff, the landing and the return trip will be handled by this system up here. Alright? So things that can go wrong. The rocket could explode. One thing, right? Anything could happen to that. So let's not talk about things that could go around from down here. Alright, so let's go up here. If we run out of fuel, we're dead, right? If we land and our Kerbal gets down on the surface but can't get it back up because I don't know how much gravity the planet has, right? Maybe his jetpack won't work. That's why I need to replace the Kerbal. Oh, no, wait, no. Correct Kerbal. Jade. He's the engineer. Anyway, so he gets down, he can't get back, do all that stuff. He can't back up, so he's dead, right? Second thing, we can't get back, we can't lift off after, the mission's over with, he was on the surface for a while. And if he can't get back up into the capsule, then he's dead. I did include a probe core on this. However, I don't think that it's going to do much of a difference at the end, especially when we're going down, right? So I don't believe... the only reason I added it is because of... he's not a pilot, so I need something to control the ship a little bit easier. And if we lose signal, I'm not too sure how that will affect the control of the ship. But anyway, that's just me talking. Anything else that could go wrong? We can't even... Okay, so the other major thing that I'm not sure of, we don't even survive re-entry. So, well, entry into the atmosphere of the planet. So, there's a bunch of things that could go wrong here. I'm going to try my best to get this Kerbal home after the launch. Since he's an engineer, he's not a pilot, so, I don't want to kill a non-pilot, astronaut. Because then that would make us even look more bad. So let's go ahead and launch. Alright, so I hope to get into space with this part of the rocket by itself, alright? Performance is really bad right now, so as I can see right now, we're going at 10 frames per second, so it's chugging along at a decent speed, alright? So I'm going to talk to you guys when we actually get up to orbit and prepare ourselves. Or maybe actually no, maybe even not in orbit. I'll actually talk to you guys when we are around the event, alright? So... I'll talk to you in about probably 20 minutes in my time, but for you, probably around 2 or 3 minutes, alright? So I'll see you then. Alright, so we're here now, and we lost signal, so that gives us a tiny... Incy-wincy problem, but not that big of a deal in the end, right? So, this means that the science that we collect from the surface will have to recover once we are in orbit. But that's no big deal. That will probably help us get a bigger amount of science in the end. So, whatever, right? So, let's go ahead and... I thought we were inside, but I guess not. Let's go ahead and get closer. Closer. Alright. Oh, apparently we're gonna crash into the planet at this rate, which gives me an idea. I did want to go to the poles. I still want to go to the poles, It looks very interesting. It looks like the Mars North Pole, and this thing also looks interesting. This like an old ocean lake bed or something like that. Something interesting. South Pole, not as interesting. North Pole, very interesting, and I wish we had a plane that could flown that thing, but I didn't have the amount of science or the parts that I needed to make a decent plane. Alright, so... Okay, let's adjust here, because I wanna land on the North Pole. We already saw what the GeoTracker 1 saw down here, so... If you want to go see that, check out the episode where I did that. I think it was episode... Control locked. I've never seen that before. Okay, guys, so after a little bit of consideration, I realized that going into the North Pole and that strange trajectory that we had there was probably a bad idea, but I think that the game didn't save my progress, so we are... I think that was different before, right? I'm pretty sure that... Well, anyway. Alright, anyway, let's... This is probably a better trajectory at this point. I do want to go to the North Pole, but I don't know if it's a good idea to enter the atmosphere in that kind of way. Maybe I can push it a little bit further and a little bit further north. That to be exact here. So let's see here, and I'm gonna do a little bit of science since we're here at this point anyway. And we don't have any signal anyway, but so this has turned a little more difficult than I hoped it would be. But after that little bit of a break that I took in between the last clip and this clip, I believe that we can do a good job and land this Kerbal on this planet. Sadly, I'm pretty sure you guys won't be able to see a return mission this episode, but next episode you definitely will see that. So let's go ahead and get this trajectory a little bit more northern, to a northern spot. And I should probably check how deep the atmosphere is, how deep we have to go to get to the atmosphere. So we don't want to go that low. We want to go low, but not too low. Not too low. Around probably 60 would be okay, right? So it turns out this planet is a little bit bigger than the atmosphere is a little bit higher than I assumed. I think, now that I think about it, because I remember having a bit of issues when I landed the other ship. It was a little thicker than I hoped it would be. 65, okay, so yeah, it's definitely a lot, yeah. Need to go a bit higher than that, so I'll correct that. I'll correct that when we go here. So wanted at least at 70 meters, 70k basically. So we don't have any issues. We have a lot of important equipment on board. We don't want to lose any of that. And that's okay. That seems like an okay trajectory there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a crew report since we're here. Crew report. Boom. Alright, EVA. EVA report. Keep data. Board the ship again. And let's get some of that science data that we put on this baby. Log pressure. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know about those. But let's go ahead and get them. Since we're here anyway, right? Let's go ahead and get those. Take data. Yep, take data. Alright, they're not that big of a large science value. I'm sorry for the motion sickness that you guys are going to be experiencing, but this is what happens when you do a polar mission. So deal with it, my friends. Deal with it. Alright. So let's go ahead and burn this direction. Alright. It's a little weird since we are moving pretty fast here. Yeah, this should work. It should be okay. As long as we don't go under 65, we'll be okay. The only problem I will have, though, which I did anticipate earlier on, that's a bright light, I'm gonna turn that off, is I had no heat shield because the heat shield weighs a lot, causing some issues, especially when we're trying to re-enter the planet. Exit the planet, I mean, originally we were actually taking off in the first place. So another issue is that we're gonna land here, of all places, right? So the problem with this, it looks like it has a lot of mountains, a lot of hills. So this lander wasn't designed to be able to land in a very not just a flat place. So that's gonna be an issue that we're gonna have at some point once we initiate the landing site. And the third thing is that this thing has a much thicker atmosphere than I assumed it would, and we saw that again with the other little probe that we sent down here. So, and after taking that into consideration, this is the other probe. I will assume that we'll lose a lot of parts here, probably the landing legs, maybe some of the ladders, and I don't know, something up here probably, most likely too. So we need to make sure that we slow down this orbit down to a point that I can manage it a little bit better, and we will initiate our landing maneuver once we're somewhere around here so we can land at the spot that we want to land at. Right? So we have some rocket power and we have some a lot of parachutes now that I think about it. So we'll use those to our advantage here, since the atmosphere is a lot thicker than you would think. But it's still a very long fall, which gives us a lot of time to heat up and lose parts that we may need, that we would desperately be able to use, especially when we need them to get the science materials that we need. So hopefully that isn't as big of a problem as I'm thinking it will be at this point, since we're actually flying very slowly at this point. And we still have a decent orbit. Actually, that's a little too much of flying slow, but it's under 1,300 meters per second, so I'm not too worried about it now. We still have a lot of rocket power, and our thrust-to-weight ratio is very high, so I'm not too worried about it at this point. But it would be very wise for me to quick save, that's for one thing, and, enjoy the view of the planet, since, we're still alive here before we end up crashing into the ground and maybe possibly dying. But yeah, very beautiful planet, very beautiful atmosphere. As you can see, it has kind of like a bluish atmosphere here. Very bright, very bright. Actually, kind of got the ship out of frame there. Very beautiful planet. Alright, there's the sun again. Very beautiful. Much more beautiful than I remembered it before. You know, last time we came in too fast for me to enjoy it, and probably you guys to enjoy it too. So let's go ahead and come in for our landing here. So I'm gonna slow down somewhere around here, come down to a halt, pretty much, just, you know, or maybe over here. I don't want to come down straight down, because a straight trajectory will probably kill the poor man. Alright, so we're slowing down pretty well here. Under 1,000 meters per second. Very nice. And I see the North Pole over there, so probably a little more. A little slower. A little bit more gentler. A little more love as we go down, you know what I mean? You can't enjoy love if you don't go slow, you know what I mean? To go slow. Take it slow. Make sure you don't hurt anything. Because, you know, you can hurt something and then you end up in pain. I should probably stop that conversation before it gets to anywhere a little more uncomfortable. Anyway, let's go ahead and come in for this little landing here. Alright, so SAS isn't the best because we don't have any other options other than just SAS. So I'm going to have to fly it down pretty much myself at this point. Let's see how flat this terrain is down there. We're approximately 56 kilometers in altitude still from the terrain down below. And so far we're doing very well. We're not coming in too fast. I'm going to go ahead and deploy those chutes in order for them to slow down. And I'm going to deploy this here. Alright, so that doesn't look very flat. I'm going to actually start slowing down a little more. Make sure these chutes can deploy as high up as possible. Altitude as high up as possible. Make sure you guys have a nice little pull once we actually get in. Then I'll deploy these guys. Make sure these guys can deploy as high up as possible. When you're coming into these sort of planets, make sure they can deploy as high up as possible. That's very, very crucial to the success of your mission. Alright, so this is in a very flat spot and I'm actually regretting coming down here. Okay. Alright. Deploy this landing gear, man. Okay, we're coming in. I'm coming a little bit too fast here. Things are deploying. Alright, alright. Things are slow. Okay, don't pass out, man. We need you. Alright, alright. So, decent descent. Terrain is not flat. Terrain is actually very, very hilly. Alright, so this is gonna cause some issues. The legs are not designed for this kind of landing, okay? And, oh wow, that's a very high peak over there. Alright, man. Let's see if we can try not to get you stranded here. I hope we... Ooh, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, man. It looks like it's gonna... Oh my god, this is a very bad mountain range. Oh my god. Okay, wait. I think I can do something here for you. If we can push it this way. Push ourselves this way. We don't have much fuel left in this stage, which means you have to conserve. We have to conserve as much as possible. Oh man, this is bad. Oh crud. Okay. We need to get over this lip, man. That's all we need to do. If we can get over this lip, it'll be okay. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Keep pulling. Oh my god, bro. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have landed here. This is horrible. This is probably the worst place I could have come down, man. I'm so sorry. Okay, it's worse, man. I'm so sorry, Jade. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh no. We lost an engine. We lost the main engine. You're pretty much dead at this point. Oh man, this sucks. And we have no signal either. Okay. Well, damn. That's painful, man. That really is painful. We have no way to bring you home. If the engine has survived... Damn it. I shouldn't have landed here. Okay. Okay, well, we do have a quick save. I think you guys won't mind if I use it, right? I think you won't mind, right? I'm pretty sure you won't. So, I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll let you join me when we're coming in for the next approach, for the, you know, the one that should have been, but it wasn't, you know, hopefully. Because we're still falling here, technically, right? And there's really no way for me to bring this man home. And I don't, you know, I can send another mission in, but, you know, the place he landed in, it's not gonna happen. So, okay, so I'll be right back when we actually get this done correctly. Alright, so we're coming for the final approach, and I made an executive decision. I will accept Jade's faith, no matter what it is at this point, alright? You know, if he gets stranded here, we'll have no choice but to send a mission in to get him out. And if he perishes here, then that's what destiny was meant to be, I guess. So we'll have to accept the decision of faith and not mine here. We have no choice at this point. And that's what will have to happen. Sadly. Start to slow down here. Make sure those chutes can deploy as soon as possible. We need to conserve more gas than before. I changed the trajectory a tiny bit. Not much, but just enough, alright? And by that I mean I pointed the rocket in a little bit of a different direction. I really don't know how much our landing site would actually change, but I believe that it should be enough, and I will go ahead and deploy everything here, make sure we got everything. And I think we have a bit more fuel than we did last time, which would have also been a problem if things would have gone a little bit better. Oh god. Nope. Okay. We'll slide down, actually. I don't... Oh, crap. Yep, that's it. Okay. Alright. This isn't too bad, actually. Business. We're here. Might as well do what we need to do. Jade, I think if you can't make this thing happen, we're going to have to make you go, you know, get you a rescue Kerbal. Or a rescue ship to come and get your sorry butt out of this planet. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a crew report, alright? Yeah, override, I don't care. You're not getting home anyway, right? Alright, well. Well, board, and let's do the other science, actually. I said I would accept his fate this time, and if I cannot get him to orbit, then we have no choice but to get this poor soul a way to come home. Alright, so let's go ahead and log this thing. Log radio. Okay, so we can't use that. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. It's some sort of radio thingy, so I guess the thing isn't going to work. Let's get the landing images, maybe. That's a thing, I guess. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, keep that data, my friends. And Jade, it's time for you to do the honors of falling to the ground, because there's no other way for you to get down from this place. So, go for it, my amigo. Boom. Boom. See, that is the first step you want. That is the first steps you want to take, alright? Yeah. There you go. There you go, man. This is a fun place to be, right? Yeah, look at this. Look at those mountains over there. Man, those are the mountains. Those are the mountains you want. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and climb this rock. Yeah. Oh, well. I'm actually proud of this guy. He's an engineer. He flew this ship all the way here with the help of a robot. So I guess he technically could have done it himself, you know. So he is an engineer, so I didn't expect him to actually land the damn thing. Let's go ahead and get the sun in the image. Hopefully we can climb up this mountain here. And get this, Ohio Spiral is a biome. Very interesting. Very interesting. Even though we're at the North Pole, this is the Ohio Spiral. EVA report. EVA report, you've recorded your observation. Well, no custom description for the science experiment. So, yes. That's an issue. Okay, let's go ahead and... I don't want to break anything. I don't want to do the time warp thingy. Because that ship down there is not in a very stable position. And I don't want to break anything, because if I time warp, I'm pretty sure, just judging by how the the physics behave in this game. I'm pretty sure that ship will have a couple of explosions if I were to time warp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt a couple times to actually get that ship to take off. And then after that happens, I will attempt to return. Actually, I have a jetpack. Why don't I use that jetpack, huh? Because it doesn't work. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess half the amount of gravity is not enough for you to keep on flying. So this planet is a little more difficult than Duna. So, which means that I will need to send a rescue mission to get him home. I do not know if this rocket that I have has enough Delta V to get him home anyway. Especially since we decided to do the foolish thing of landing in the poles. Like an idiot. So, sadly, we're gonna have another mission to rescue this man. Which is not a big deal. I'm pretty sure you want to see me fail at landings again, right? So, maybe for you guys it's a blessing, but for me it's a little more work, which I don't mind doing at all, alright? So, wait for that, and you can watch me embarrass myself showing my piloting skills. I think, though, however, I will send this man a plane. We don't have the antenna ranges, but I think if I get him a satellite out here, which will probably be part of the mission, I think, that will probably be the goal. So let's see here if we can see the sun yet. We cannot, and I don't think we're going to see the sun anytime soon, but the atmosphere here looks thick enough for the poor old Kerbal to get a plane and use it. So, looks like things are looking up, my friend. You're not a pilot yet, so, you're still not going to have a bunch of fun flying it. But I think that the best solution to your problem here would be for me to send a rescue mission. Since now we know where a flat landing spot is, and that's why you would have sent a mission to check first. But my other mission, was practically a failure. And ruined everything from actually happening. So let's see how high up we can go here. And we're stranded here for now. I said I would accept the fate, so I will, and I will deal with it in my own way. We didn't get much money out of this, so actually, well, not much. But I will accept the situation as it is. And yeah. That's the way things have to be for now. But we will get you home, I promise you, Jade Kerman, or Gale, Jade Gale, yeah, Galeon, Jail Galeon. We'll get you home, I promise you that. And maybe even a plane for you to play around with, if you're lucky. We don't have the signs that I hope we would have gotten from you. But I think if I were to, your antenna survived, so I'm pretty sure if I get you a satellite out here, you would have a bit more luck with the situation. We're still not getting the sun here, so maybe I will do a little bit of time warp since it's just around that corner over there, right? If things will rotate, yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted, and it doesn't look like that thing broke. So we are happy with the situation, and go ahead and plant that flag, my friend. The wrong direction. I don't know. Okay, cancel. I want you to plant that freaking flag in the right place, man. Great. Maybe the face you're facing now is the way you plant it, maybe? Plant flag. Yep, it is. Alright, so yeah, this is the way. Yeah, we did it. Yep. We have planted a flag on the event, so... Rescue... needed... here. And then for plague text, please. Okay. Alright, so... good job. Alright. I'm proud of you, but sadly you're gonna stick around here for a while. Sadly, as we have a couple more planets over there in the distance. Yeah. That's just the way things will have to be for now. It looks like those planets are over there called Thalia and Icarus. So maybe someday you will land on one of those. I promise you we'll get you home, and I promise you'll get another trip. So you're technically now the Martian on event. So you're now the Nivanian. Alright? That is your title for the next year or two. if we can't get you up, because I'm going to try still, right? So yeah, this is the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was very fun. The terrain here is amazing. There's so many hills and mountains. The graphics are just amazing. The sun and everything, you know, it's beautiful, right? The American flag is right there, you know. Just imagine, if you're from another country, imagine your flag right there. Alright, so, yeah. Thanks for watching. Help support our channel by buying a game from G2A. You don't have to, because it's a very controversial thing, but it's the only way for small YouTubers to make any money. So, you know, I'm not, making any money at all, but, it wouldn't bother me to make a little bit out of this, so I can get a better equipment and actually get better performance out of this stupid computer I call it a PC. Anyway, so yeah, support the channel if you want. If you're gonna buy, if you were planning on buying a game, go for it. Use our referral link down below, and comment if you like me. If you don't like me using quick saves, the result was pretty much the same here. We're in a little bit of better position after I used it, but I decided that I wouldn't use it. But if you want me to or not at all, leave a comment down below and I will read it and I will respond. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you can see the rescue mission of this fella over here. And I will see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.